ladies and gentlemen, don't compare yourself to anyone. You know, it's funny, isn't it? The way they always try to make you believe it's all about them, what they're doing, where they're going, how they've got it figured out. But who says they've figured it out? Who really knows? They act like they have all the answers, all the rules, all the keys to the castle, but maybe that castle is just a house of cards stacked up by hands that don't know how to hold them steady. And you're sitting there thinking about what you should have done or what you could have done or how you should be more like them. But no, that's the trick, isn't it? That's the lie they tell you, that you're supposed to be someone else, someone you're not. That you're supposed to fit into their mold, their idea of what it should look like. But where's the fun in that? Where's the freedom? The joy? To live like that, to wear someone else's skin like a borrowed jacket, it doesn't fit. It suffocates. You can't be them. You can't be anyone but yourself. And that's not a failure. That's the way it's meant to be. No, not meant to be. It's the way it is. You've got your own pulse, your own rhythm, your own way of thinking, walking, breathing. What they do, it doesn't have a thing to do with you. Not one thing. It's easy to look around and think, what if I did that? What if I took that path? But what if that's not your path at all? Maybe your path's something different, something all your own, and maybe it's going to look messy or rough around the edges or not like anyone else's. But it's yours, only yours. You don't need to justify it, don't need to explain it to anyone. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection's overrated anyway, always a false mirror showing a reflection that isn't real. So why waste time, why waste energy wishing you were someone else, wishing you were somewhere else? It's you who's here, it's you who's living this life, and who else could do it better than you? No one. Not a single soul. They can walk their walk, but you walk yours. And when you stop measuring yourself by someone else's yardstick, when you finally stop comparing and start living your truth, you'll see everything's right where it's supposed to be. And if they don't get it, if they don't understand, well, that's their problem, not yours. Yes, it's all yours. Reject the pressure to compare. The speech emphasizes that it's a mistake to constantly compare yourself to others, as their paths and successes are theirs alone. You are unique, and trying to live someone else's life or meet their standards only leads to frustration and self-doubt. Embrace your own journey. It highlights the importance of following your own path, no matter how different or imperfect it might seem. Everyone's journey is personal, and there is beauty and value in living authentically without the need for external validation. Stop seeking perfection and approval. The speech challenges the idea of perfection and urges you to stop measuring yourself against others. It stresses that living your truth, even if it's messy or unconventional, is more fulfilling than chasing an idealized version of success that doesn't belong to you. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison, especially in a world that constantly puts everyone else's successes, achievements, and lifestyles in front of us. You scroll through social media, or you overhear conversations, and suddenly you're measuring your life against theirs. But what we often forget, is that every individual is on a different path, shaped by their own experiences, choices, and circumstances. Their success, their happiness, their way of life, it's theirs, and theirs alone. It doesn't belong to you, nor is it meant to. The more you try to align your life with someone else's, the more you stray from your own authentic self. When you compare, it's like you're stepping into someone else's shoes without knowing where they've been, how they've walked, or what those shoes even mean. Their success didn't come from the same place as yours, and it doesn't have the same weight. Trying to follow in their footsteps doesn't honor your own journey. In fact, it often leads to feelings of frustration and doubt because the bar you're measuring yourself against is arbitrary. You're chasing someone else's dream, someone else's idea of what should be, and that's a recipe for disappointment. You start to doubt your own choices, second-guess your progress, and wonder why you're not there yet, wherever there is. The truth is, there doesn't exist in the way you think. What you're doing now with all the little steps you take is building something unique to you. And it will look nothing like anyone else's. That's the beauty of it. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, you're not allowing yourself to fully experience your own journey. You're too busy looking sideways instead of looking ahead, where your future is waiting to unfold in a way that's perfectly yours. Your journey is yours and yours alone, a narrative that only you can write. It may not look like anyone else's, and it certainly won't follow the smooth, predictable lines that others might take. It might twist, turn, and even stop at times, only to begin again in unexpected places. But that's what makes it yours. It's not about following a set path that everyone else seems to be on. It's about creating your own map, one that reflects your values, dreams, and desires. The beauty of this journey is that it's personal, and that means it's perfectly suited to who you are. So often we're told there's a specific way to do things the right way, the most successful way, the best way. Society sets standards for achievement, happiness, love, and success, and we internalize them as if they are universal truths. But the truth is, those standards aren't meant for everyone. Not everyone is meant to follow the same steps or measure their life against the same yardstick. Your path may not be straight, and it may not match anyone else's timeline. But that's exactly what makes it meaningful. The bumps and detours and moments of doubt are part of your growth. They shape you in ways that following someone else's idealized path never could. When you embrace your own journey, you're letting go of the pressure to fit into a mold that was never made for you. You're allowing yourself to be imperfect, to make mistakes, to take chances, and to redefine success on your own terms. It's about finding what matters to you regardless of what others think or what society expects. The more you let go of the need for external validation, the more you'll realize that the only validation you truly need is your own. Your worth isn't determined by where you are in comparison to others, but by how true you stay to yourself, by how you honor your own experiences, and by the courage it takes to continue moving forward, even when the road is unclear. Perfection is an illusion, a fleeting ideal that doesn't exist in the way we often imagine. Easy to think that there's a perfect version of ourselves waiting to emerge if only we work hard enough, follow the right rules, or meet the expectations others set for us. But the truth is, perfection is subjective. It's shaped by the opinions of others, by the standards that are constantly changing, and by an idea that was never meant to fit everyone. Chasing perfection is like trying to capture a shadow. It's always just out of reach, and the more you chase it, the more you lose sight of who you are in the process. We're taught to strive for the ideal, be the best, look the best, do the best, but what does that really mean? Whose definition of best are we following? If we're always chasing some ideal version of ourselves, we miss out on the beauty of simply being who we are in the moment without the need to fit into someone else's mold. Every moment of imperfection, every mistake, every wrong turn adds depth and character to who we become. That's where real growth happens, not in a quest for flawlessness, but in accepting that we're allowed to be human. And then there's the need for approval. The constant search for validation from others can become a trap. We spend so much of our lives seeking the approval of family, friends, colleagues, strangers. We adjust ourselves, bend our truth, or hide our real selves just to meet their expectations or gain their praise. But the truth is, their approval will never fill the emptiness of self-doubt. It's fleeting. It's conditional, and it's never enough. The more you seek validation from others, the further you move away from the truth of who you really are. Living your truth means embracing your imperfections, your quirks, your individuality. It means stepping away from the checklist of what you should be or should have accomplished and instead focusing on what feels true to you. Your life doesn't need to mirror someone else's version of success. The messiness, the challenges, the moments that don't go as planned, they're all part of what makes your life yours. They shape your story in a way that perfection never could. When you let go of the need to be perfect or to be approved of by others, you free yourself to live authentically, unapologetically, and fully. That's where the real fulfillment lies, not in an idealized, unattainable version of success, but in embracing the imperfect, real, and beautiful you. It's not about being perfect or living up to someone else's standards or following a pre-written script. It's about embracing the journey that's uniquely yours, the highs and lows, the messy and beautiful moments, the moments of doubt and the moments of doubt, and the moments of clarity. When you stop comparing yourself to others, when you start walking your own path, and when you let go of the need for perfection or validation, you'll find a freedom like no other. You'll realize that you've been enough all along, just as you are, and that the life you're living, in all its imperfections, is exactly the one you're meant to live. So keep moving forward with confidence in your own truth and know that in this vast world, there is nothing more powerful than being authentically, unapologetically yourself.